It's the giveaway. It's the giveaway. So first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for everybody for liking and subscribing and commenting on these videos, because that's ultimately what keeps this channel going. We're getting bigger and bigger and bigger as this company grows, and so we're gonna give away something even bigger this time. It's time to give away a PSC bow. All you guys have to do to win this thing is the same thing that you've been doing. Like and subscribe to our channel, like every video, and comment. And you can comment as many times as you want. And when we go through and we pick, the more comments that you have or the more likes that you have, along with being subscribed to this channel, only improves your odds of winning this bow. We're literally giving someone a free bow, okay? Just to like and subscribe this video. So if you guys are interested in free stuff, and you didn't win this bow this time around, you didn't win these Vortex binos, you're still entered. Just stay engaged with the channel, keep liking the videos, keep commenting on them, and it's gonna help you win maybe trail cameras in the future, tree stands, things like that. What's up, people? We're back at it again with another interesting video. It's that off-season time. We're in winter coats right now. It's cold, and during that off-season is when we do a lot of habitat work. Guys are looking up habitat videos, looking up the best strategies to create better habitat, because let's face it, maybe your year didn't go as planned, maybe you didn't shoot your shooter buck, maybe he disappeared during a certain time of the year. Now you're going to try to improve the habitat. There's a lot of things that you can do by getting rid of certain things out of the habitat. We talked about one of these in one of our past videos. We did a video on the worst tree for deer habitat as well. So if you haven't seen that one, check that one out. But just to give a quick overview, that tree was the eastern red cedar and or conifers. Okay, that was a debatable topic for a lot of people. Some people didn't like to hear that, and to a certain extent, cedars can be a good thing, but at the same time, in moderation, like anything else. They do create some cover, but a lot of guys were making the argument that they're better bedding cover than some other options that were out there. And the reality is it's not really the case, because when you get good wood, hardy, like woody browse, basically you allow a lot more thermal heat to hit the ground, and ultimately warm these deer up. If I were to take a temp gun and point that temp gun down where those cedars are versus where the sun's hitting, the sun would be a lot warmer. So a lot of guys think cover, warmth, but in reality, it doesn't always work that way. I mean, for humans it might, but for deer it doesn't. So yes, we do see a lot of sign on cedars. We do see a lot of rubs on cedars, the occasional scrapes off of a cedar. They're definitely laying down sign on them, but at the same time, there are better options if we do just create more woody browse. Okay, so with that being said, what kind of woody browse are we going to reintroduce to the landscape? And what tree is it that I'm talking about? Well, here's the thing. Here's a question that I ask all of my clients, and I'm about halfway through my client visit season right now, maybe about a third of the way through. And I go to 99% of them and I ask them, what's the most desirable tree on your property for whitetail deer? And most guys will tell me it's the white oak. Okay, and why do they say it's the white oak? For the obvious reasons, the hard mass, and things like that. It's a good food source. But what I generally tell them is, yeah, I get why you like the white oak, but here's the thing about the white oak. In the time of the year in which, you hunt over white oaks, it can be a really hard time to hunt. In that early to mid-early season, through October, super hard time to hunt unless you have a buck pinned down, you know where he's bedding, you got him on some sort of pattern. If you don't, sitting under oaks could be hard. Now, yeah, don't get me wrong, if there's the one oak tree that's raining down white oak acorns, on the way to the destination food source, yeah, obviously, guys, that's a good place to sit, and that's a good scenario to have white oaks. But let's say that you have a bunch of white oaks on your property. Well, guess what your neighbor probably has? White oaks. And in that case, I would rather take a lot of those mature white oaks out to ultimately create more habitat at the deer's level, create more browse per acre, and create more forage per acre, create more high stem count cover per acre. That benefits as food cover water, like we've talked about in other videos. So now I just talked about getting rid of white oaks. Now if I could go back to reintroducing this tree species, or talking about this tree that is best for whitetail habitat, it's still the white oak. Now I get what you guys are thinking. Brett, you just told me to cut them all down. Now you want them. I like them in certain stages. I love to see the young oak plantations when they get to an age where maybe they are creating some hard mass, but I don't even like the tree for the hard mass. The reason I really do like the oak species is because they hold their leaves super late into the year, really until the following spring, when the new leaves start to bud and the acorns start to grow on the trees again. So what does that mean? Basically, that means that there's going to be cover throughout the season when a lot of other trees will be dropping their leaves. And ultimately, if you have more cover late season, there's a good chance that you're going to hold more deer late season, maybe more natural browse, a lot of different things you have going for you. So ultimately, at the end of the day, reintroducing these white oak plantations, or allowing, you know, going in and cutting the mature oaks that are ultimately keeping the sunlight from hitting the forest floor, and allowing new young regeneration of white oaks or other oaks come back. Not only is it going to be really good browse, obviously just from a young woody browse standpoint, but like we just talked about, you're going to have good leaf cover, and you're going to have good leaf cover late into the year. And one of the other things I really like about it is deer like to spend time in those high stem count areas. Now we got leaves and everything on the trees as well, so it's just a good natural secure bedding area possibly for them. And deer love to lay down sign in those oak plantations, whether it's the rubs, whether it's the scrapes. It's a combination of the both. So now what we ultimately did by getting rid of oaks and maybe getting rid of cedars, depending on if there's oaks to be replanted or if you want to reintroduce oaks into these certain locations, what we did is we got rid of that really tall mature stuff that was only giving us hard mast and browse and acorns, which everybody has, and it's everywhere throughout the timber. But now we added more diversity, we added more cover, we added more food, and we added more desirable places for deer to actually lay down sign. Let's be honest, how often do you see a deer going up to a fully mature oak tree and making rubs? Not too often. In the brush, where do you see your rubs? You know, you see it in the brush. So now if we have that good young scrub brush that holds leaves late in the season, super attractive for deer to lay down sign, lay down rubs, lay down scrapes, which ultimately is going to make it easier for you to hunt. And it's creating cover as well. So there's a bunch of different perks to putting in these white oaks or oaks in general, and that's what I would recommend doing. So in my personal opinion, I think that putting in new regeneration oaks, young white oaks that create cover, food, and ultimately places for deer to lay down sign and make the hunting easier on you is a great idea for whitetail habitat. Even if it means taking out mature oaks, taking out those cedars, taking out those other tree species. So at the end of the day, guys, when it comes to the most desirable tree for whitetail habitat, in my opinion, there's many. And there's a lot of them that hold their leaves late into the season, and a lot of them that have those other benefits. But for the most part, I'm going to lean back on that young white oak regeneration as my favorite.